I'm Mindy Sterling.
I'm Annie Sertich, and we're on Don't Be Alone with Jay Kogan. You almost forgot his name.
I did.
Don't be alone with Jay Kogan.
Hi there. Welcome to Don't Be Alone with Jay Kogan. I am Jay Kogan, and you know who you are. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have a really great show. It's about friendship. But before we get to the essence of it, I want to remind you to write to me at dbawjk@gmail.com with all your comments, suggestions, and particularly I need listener mail. Write me a big life question that I can answer with a guest, and that will be a delight, and I'll appreciate it greatly. Also, if you can subscribe. If you can like it. If you can review it. If you can share it with a friend, oh, that's even better. Anyway, let's talk about friendship. Friendship seems to be more important than it ever was. People are lonely and sad and feel disconnected. And I have two friends, Mindy Sterling and Annie Sertich, who are really good friends. They're friends from the Groundlings, and they're delightful. And they have a bond that I don't really think I have exactly with anybody. I have friends who I see occasionally. I have friends from show business, people who I know I could call in an emergency if I needed them. But I don't check in with them every day. Who are the people you check in with every day? Do you have a kind of friendship where it's sort of like you expect to see someone every few days, expect to talk to them every few days? And if you don't, something's weird, something's wrong? I don't have that kind of friendship with anybody other than my wife and my son. So I find it interesting that these two people have that friendship, and they've kept it going, and I think will be friends for the rest of their lives. I would like to develop that kind of friendship, and I think we should all have some kind of connection like that in our lives if we can. So let's learn about it right after this.
Don't be alone with Jay Kogan.
Well, welcome.
Are we
gals.
on now?
We're on.
Oh, hi.
We're being
Oh.
recorded, as far as I know.
Really? Okay,
So,
great.
Annie, thank you for
Hi.
coming here. Mindy, I guess thanks.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
She was in the area.
Yeah,
was
I
in the
really had
area.
nothing to do.
It was
I
very-
love walking in the heat.
It was so great to have you. When I first started this podcast, one of the first thoughts I had was to have you guys on, and then and to have you guys on together.
We're a duo.
You are kind of. I mean, not really, but
No,
yes.
but yeah, okay.
I like to keep my autonomy.
But I
so.
mean, what's remarkable about you, other than both of you are hysterically funny,
Thank
you're
you.
incredibly talented. The Groundlings is a connection that we have. Improv is a connection we've had, and you both are unbelievably talented on stage. Every time you're on stage, it's like magic, and we've desperately tried to work with both of you all the time because I love you both. But in addition to that talent, you also have this friendship, and that struck me as a very strange thing. Not that friendships are strange, but that I wouldn't immediately pair the two of you. Like say, okay,
Because we're so different?
yeah, not that you're so different.
Age-wise.
You're different age-wise. You may come from a different little bit of worlds. I mean, you have a grown adult child, and you don't. I mean, it's like different things. The
Yes.
connective tissue
Yes.
that you would have, other than your soul's match, is interesting. And like to find that, okay, you have this friendship that is a very, very strong. I don't know about your other friendships, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
We don't
is
want to
about-
tell you.
I want to know about this friendship. So how did you guys meet? How did you guys connect as friends?
Oh, I love this.
Ooh. Obviously I looked up to Mindy
Sure.
as a student of the Groundlings.
Right.
As this hilarious, strong, funny woman with such a strong point of view as well. And so I've always was like, Mindy's my teacher. I can't remember if I took a class from you.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
don't
to say
think
that
so.
because when we did connect, you
Yeah.
you said something about you got into the show. I didn't know you, but I
Right.
just heard about you.
So we were in the bathroom, and if you know the lobby of the Groundlings, you have all these pictures, and you have the main company, and then you have alumni, and then you have Sunday company
Right.
pictures. So
Right.
I was in the Sunday company, and I went in the bathroom, and
By the way, you have to tell them to take all the pictures of me down. I'm sick of
Oh.
so many Jay Kogan pictures all over the Groundlings.
We've been trying.
God.
They just love you
I know.
so
I don't know.
much.
But your nosy neighbor is so iconic. It brings students in.
Sure, I get it. I get it.
You are a big reason.
And the one peering over the fence.
Yes, it's adorable. It's kind of funny, but it's also adorable.
It's very adorable.
Yeah.
So I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, and there's icon Mindy Sterling next to me. And I'm like, hi. And she's like, hi. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And she said, oh, I heard you're in the Sunday Company. And I was like,
she knows who I am.
Right.
Right.
And I said, I am. Thank you. And she said, I heard you were funny. And I was like, oh, thank you.
I haven't seen you yet.
And then she goes, well, I haven't seen you yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen you, but I guess you are. I don't know. We'll see.
What was that about? I haven't seen you yet.
That was, it was just like me trying to be funny.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, I haven't seen you yet. So let me watch you first, and then I'll let you know.
I'll be the judge of that kind of thing.
So it was like,
so I was like,
terrible.
Yeah, no, that's great.
But I was just having
That's
fun.
funny. Sure.
I mean,
Did you take it as funny?
No.
Okay, see, that's the problem.
I went home and I wrote in my journal, like, maybe I won't make it.
Right.
Maybe I'm not funny.
Right.
Or just maybe whatever.
Right,
So,
which goes to show you how fragile people fucking are. Like,
God.
one person said something kind of snarky, a little funny, and it's like, maybe I don't belong in the world. Like, how did that? It just blows up from one comment to that.
And I had no thought that was. That was playful, being playful, and because she, it's a Groundlings and da. And I think about it now.
If you had known her,
of course.
for 3 seconds, you would know she wouldn't say something like that on purpose.
But see, when I hear and I go back to it, and I'm thinking, what a horrible woman I was at that moment. Well, I mean, I didn't know her, and she didn't know me. I mean, she knew who I was. Well, but it was just kind of, I really thought, this is what we do here.
It is.
And then
it is. That's funny. It's funny. And you have to assume somebody who's in the Sunday Company knows funny.
that's right. I didn't know the little bit of Groundlings. Like, well, we'll see.
Right.
Let's see what your nosy neighbor.
Tim Bagley would have done that. Tim Bagley would have said something like that. That's a Tim Bagley thing.
Right.
Yes.
But also in general in show business, but also specifically the Groundlings, no wallflowers. No fragile wallflowers. No. You're going to get kicked to the ground. Yeah. Yes. So you might as well enjoy the ride.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I was fragile despite a lot of things in that, you live and die. That's probably why it's so much of a feeder for Saturday Night Live. You live and die by your Sunday performance.
Right.
So you're only as good as, whatever Groundling saw you or whatever. So we then cut to, I make it in the Groundlings.
I never saw her show.
Right.
She never saw
Thank
her show.
God.
I don't even know
Despite this woman,
she was
I made
so
it.
bad.
But I don't even know what the first show, if that.
You still didn't see the show.
I don't think I've seen her in anything.
Even when we performed together, you don't watch it.
I don't. She's on her own.
Was it Groundlings and Wolverine, or was it Meet the Groundlings, or was it Groundlings Time?
Yes.
Groundlings Mountain?
Lucy in the Sky with Groundlings.
Yeah, exactly.
I know so many crazy things.
Those are.
I don't know.
They're all great names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great names, and they have nothing to do with the show.
They don't reflect
Always
the show.
Have been
at
that
all.
way.
Although the overture is, if it's based on a movie or something, the overture is inspired by that.
So that's gives
so
the
we
band
set
something to
people
do.
up to expect something, and then we don't give
That's
them.
fine. They're expecting comedy and improv, and they get that.
They do get that. So then we flash forward, and I'm in the Groundlings, but my life is falling apart, and I went through a really tough time, shit bucket, just terrible time. And
why did you even buy the shit bucket? I really think that was a bad choice. I'm going to buy the shit bucket and live in a shit bucket. That's a bad choice.
I know.
That's not loving yourself.
As she realizes in a show she did.
Yes.
Go on,
Shit
please.
bucket. I saw it.
Oh, that's right.
I saw shit bucket.
Oh, that's right.
I was in the deepest shit bucket.
Right.
And I'm having a meal with my dear ex-director and friend Jim Rash from the Groundlings. Mm-hmm. We became friends when I got in the main company.
I'm a big Jim Rash fan.
Me too.
Doesn't know me from Adam, but
you need to get him.
He doesn't.
I can talk to him for you.
Yeah, can you introduce me?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it.
Of course, he knows who you are. Jim Rash knows who you are.
Right.
So Jim Rash says, I think what are you doing with your time? And I'm like, well, I'm going to get a bike. I'm going to do yoga. There's a midnight yoga class. I'm going to hike alone, to your point. And he's like, stop being alone.
Right.
I was going through a divorce. There was infidelity. I was planning a family. That wasn't happening. All these things were happening. And he was like, stop being alone. But that was my best thinking, was to be alone.
Don't be alone.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
That's...
And a lot of my friends were on baby number 2,
Right.
I was going through a terrible divorce.
Right.
And so he said, you know who you should call? Mindy Sterling.
By the way, let me apologize now for taking his side. I don't know. I'm not sure why I automatically took his side in the divorce. So let's bury the hatchet on that.
In the divorce, you took his side?
Yeah.
Oh, not Jim Rash's side. You're taking my ex-husband's
Your
side?
ex-husband's side. Yeah. That was
All right.
my bad.
Okay.
Well, see, now we've opened that up.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
sharing.
Yeah.
So yes, so he says call Mindy Sterling, and I was like, no way, she was my teacher at the.
Right.
I can't call Mindy Sterling. He's like, if you don't, I will.
Right.
And so we left, and I'm like, no. And
Do you know why he wanted her to call me?
Why?
Yeah, interject, please.
Because I went through a terrible divorce.
I know.
Yes, and so
And again, I'm sorry for taking his side.
right now I am so thrilled that we are not married. But so it was, I went through blah blah blah,
Right.
and I had a kid, blah, blah, blah. So this was like this, but it had been a little while. I
Yeah,
guess. So
you
it
were
wasn't like
up and
I was
over.
still.
Right.
I was done. Boom, bum.
Right.
And then it was like, oh my god, I get
So
to help somebody.
Jim Rash knew you needed each other.
He did
Okay.
before I knew it.
Okay.
And so I got up the courage to call her, and maybe the next day, maybe a few days later, and I was like, hi, I'm Annie. She goes, I already know. What are you doing? So Jim had already called.
Right.
And I said, well, I'm kind of, she goes, no, you're not. Come over. So we do live
very close. We could
very
walk.
close. We could walk to each other's
Santa
house.
Monica.
That was part of it. Okay. You shouldn't give our address away.
I didn't. I just said
Okay,
Santa Monica.
well,
Right.
you're
It's a
more,
very big place.
you're
Yeah.
more,
People
You're famous.
sometimes-
You're very famous.
Well,
You're
maybe,
very-
maybe I
You're
want
stuck.
people to come
People
see.
come to conventions to
Yes.
see you.
Jay, she gets a TaskRabbit, and
Yeah.
I do not enjoy it.
Yeah, I
I
get
don't
it.
know. I mean, a TaskRabbit comes to our house, a random TaskRabbit,
Yeah.
to put a curio cabinet together. Cheerio, what?
Yeah, that's all right.
I get concerned though.
Why?
Because
Well, I know people.
I
I don't
know.
like, I'm not like
a
telling
random
people.
person
Right.
comes to your house.
Well, I mean, but what are they going to do? I have an apartment. Somebody is coming over here to
Yeah.
fix the light.
You should wear a disguise. I think that's what you mustache or
I
something.
don't like she gives away her address
All right.
so freely. Anyway, I'm protective. So there we are. I decide to walk over, and I open the door, and there's this woman. She's got like meat and cheese spread. I don't eat meat. And
Sure.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't really like cheese. I mean, cheese and wine, sure. She's got throw pillows. She's
Right.
just got this big comfy couch,
Sure.
and there's this woman, and she's just like, sit down.
Come on in.
Right.
Yeah, sit. Let's talk.
And you shared.
We
You
did
sat down and shared.
We shared.
Okay, so I'm hearing that you guys bonded in trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I always say this woman, she's like, oh, I did this workbook called The Divorce Detox.
Right.
That
You
was
need
something
it.
I got.
I know.
You
Yes.
need it. So she goes out, she finds it, rummaging around.
Right.
There's cats flying everywhere.
Right.
I'm like sunk in this, like, she keeps telling me to eat the meat and cheese.
Right.
And she brings me this workbook.
Did you feel obligated, even though you don't eat meat and cheese, to eat the meat and cheese?
I ate some cheese, but I will not eat meat.
Yeah, okay,
So
right.
I felt obligated to
I
eat
said
more
my
cheese than I
son will
wanted.
eat it. I said my son will eat it.
Right.
But I was like,
And he will.
he
And
He did.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I'm not.
did.
We don't have it
Yeah.
anymore.
Right. It'd be great if you had.
Yeah,
it.
he will. No, he's already done it.
So anyway, she gives me this divorce detox workbook.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Right.
And I start flipping. And a lot of it's filled in
Yes.
about
With
her divorce.
her personal details. Yeah. Sure.
And I said, Mindy,
Just answer the questions. You don't have, I don't care. I wrote stuff down
Right.
there. It's just like, these are the questions are very interesting. And then it opens it up and stuff.
Right.
I was like, so.
I was like, I don't think, I knew her as my improv
Right.
teacher. I knew her as a groundling. And I'm learning, like, where was the last time you had sex?
Right. Right.
In her thing, what were you, how
Right.
detached were you during your lovemaking?
Right.
She was like, well, I'm, I was addicted to Afrin. I mean, I said, I think you should keep it. And you said, no, just take a piece of paper and answer your questions next to it.
Right.
And then you can have it.
And
I
did
mean,
you?
I made it work, but
Yes.
no,
I
she
did.
did.
Didn't do
You
it.
did?
Well, I did a little bit, but I went home and I took it and I felt like a little bit like,
I would have taken it home and just read it cover to cover. And
I
just
did.
like, what are the secrets?
They
what are
weren't
the
that good, I'm sure.
Oh, whatever it
You had some good
is,
ones.
it's
Were
pretty
they?
meaty.
Really?
I found
Yes.
out you were addicted to Afrin.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
I'm not anymore, but I
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
All the
So-
kids are
Allergies. It's
Afrin.
allergies. I
Yeah,
have allergies.
allergies.
I am so high.
You're just so high
now
on
on one.
Efren. Yeah. You can't get up. That's what I hear lately.
Yeah.
All the
They'll
in
get
downtown, all the
something.
kids are trading Afrin. Any kind of nasal spray.
They don't realize
They
it.
don't realize
Boom!
it's addictive. No.
Flonase will be next. Nasacort,
Yes.
the whole
Yes.
thing.
It's a fun ride until it's not a fun
Yeah,
ride.
exactly.
Right.
Don't be alone with Jake Hogan.
So then cut to like we trauma bonded and we just started, she kept inviting me little things and
Right.
I was so wanting to be alone.
Right.
I was performing at the Groundlings, but
Right.
other than performing at the Groundlings, I just wanted to be alone in this cave in this shit bucket.
Right.
And Mindy wouldn't have it.
Right.
And she kept inviting me and I met her son and he called me his weird aunt
Right.
and making her son laugh is like one of the most joyous things because he's a real easy laugh in a great way,
Right.
super joyful. And then we did a couple shows together and then
You didn't know at the time, but I relate to you that you don't call your teacher to hang out or somebody
Yeah.
from the next level and say, hey, let's hang out, because it seems like there's a big wall there, even though there isn't. Even though now that you've, on the other side of that wall, and
Yes.
people who wanted to call you up could call you up because you're a human being.
Yes.
But you feel like there's a separation there, and it takes a lot of guts to go, okay, well, whatever.
But so
Yeah.
I was the one
Yeah.
that initiated because also too, I'm 20 years, ahead of her.
Right.
So I have that mom thing that I'll take care of you and da 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 da.
Right.
And she just was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then other stuff happened.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know what you're saying
Guys,
for.
Well, you stayed with me for a while.
Oh yeah, like things got worse in the bucket,
Right.
and so I needed a place to stay.
Right.
I did stay at Jim Rash's.
Right.
I would like hug his Oscar.
Sure.
I then went and stayed at Mindy's. Right. And we just slowly. I didn't realize that she was also having fun trying to fix me.
Right.
And I was too in a depressive grief haze to realize this.
Right.
So as we've become more on our feet, I have been like, okay, boundaries. You're not my mom.
Right.
But there's 20 plus years in between us, but we have such similar sensibility and
So it's okay. So here's why you're on the show.
Comedy-wise,
This is why you're on the show.
Okay.
This show is Don't Be Alone with Jake Hogan,
Yeah.
and people come on to solve my problems.
Okay.
So this is what my problem is. I have lots of friends.
Yes.
I'm a quite popular guy. I
Yes.
mean, come on,
You
let's be
go to
honest.
parties a lot?
Aside from Jim Rash, a lot of people like me.
You're
All
so
right?
likable.
I am likable.
So
Jim Rash aside. But I'm not sure I have a friendship connection as deep as your friendship connection with anyone. Now, I have friends, and I have friends I can depend on, but there's not my go-to call every day, hang out, just like the assumption is I'll be hanging out with this person at some point during the week, like something like that, which is how I
But you
imagine.
don't go bowling.
how I
You don't
imagine-
go.
Of course I
to
go
have, hey, Joe, you want to go have a drink? I mean, do you do those kind of things?
No, I don't call anybody for a drink. I'm going to a baseball game later today.
Okay.
With a guy who I kind of don't really know all that well, but he had a baseball ticket, so
Oh.
I'm going to go there. But I mean,
You wouldn't open up to him.
I'm gonna pour my soul out to that guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's in for. He wanted somebody to sit next to him at a baseball game. I am going to just pour my
wait.
life out and all the
Well,
horrors
you're
and
going to
terrors.
feel so great, and he will never, ever
All my
contact you
fears,
again.
all the nightmares. I'm just going to tell him all the nightmares. No, I have friends I sit and talk to every now and then, but guys don't relate to each other in that exact
Not
same
like
way.
women
We
do.
just do stuff together. If we went to a movie, we'll go to lunch. I'll go with a gang of people. Sometimes we'll go to lunch with an individual, but once every 2 months kind of thing. It's not a lot of things. I don't know.
But I don't think it's just you. I think it's men in general. Some men do have. It depends on what their life is like. You're married. You have a son. You have a business. You work hard. So you know what I mean.
What's the nature? If you had something come up in your life, would that be the first phone call?
Might be my brother.
Okay.
And then he wouldn't answer, and
Right.
then I would go.
Okay. All right. And then
well, yes.
conversely,
Maybe not the first,
Okay.
but within the top 3 for
Okay,
sure. But
right.
with certain things,
Yeah.
she's the
so like,
first.
what's the go-to? Like, if something happens, I got to tell Mindy.
Something about my animal,
Okay.
because she's such an animal lover.
Right.
So
And I'm there.
Yeah.
So I can come. Yeah.
Right.
and there is a piece of Mindy that
Now your animal's still an undefined species, right? It's just an animal.
just an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
The
cannot.
vets can't figure out what it is.
No.
All right,
No.
that's fine.
No.
We don't know. We don't know. Lots of animals
that
make that
means.
noise.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And also this thing about Mindy that, aside from being hilarious and being like, she doesn't quite know how to make boundaries, but she is, you know, a little bit controlling. But I love her so much. Mindy has an outlook on life that is different than mine, which is at the blink, anything can happen and it can be positive.
Right.
Where I think anything can happen is probably going to be negative. So if something happens that is negative,
Right.
I call her and she has a way to
Twist it
spin
around.
She does really
Okay.
believe and say more, like anything can happen. And that's been your experience in your career. Like you didn't think Mike Myers would see you at the Groundlings bop, and then here
Right.
you are now doing Comic-Cons continually as Frau. Like there's this part of you that believes anything can happen. You didn't know you'd have your son. Like
You don't, and because you don't. There were
Right.
times where I would be, even at the Groundlings, I would be like, God, there was a review, I wasn't even mentioned, and blah, 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 blah. And I swear to God, like within the next couple of days, I got something. And, you know, my mom was like that, and I just sort of feel like believe me, it's not like I don't get depressed or
Right.
upset or I hate myself or whatever, but that's what we just
In a
have to-
world where show business, well, like the rest of the world became much more like show business over the last 20 years, but in the world of show business where it is like, it's one thing to the next, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. That's the good attitude.
yes,
That's the bad attitude.
Yes.
So like you do need the ability to just go, you know, maybe it's a good thing that this happened.
that's
But I didn't when I was younger.
Right.
I didn't. That was not how
You were not
I,
carefree.
No.
No.
I was. What do you mean? I just turned 25, and I not. Why are you feeling bad, Mindy? Because I haven't made. I haven't worked, or I don't have a series. I mean,
Right.
I literally.
Right.
It was all about me. It was like, gotta get a series. I gotta get a series. I gotta get a series. And so I wasn't. I had really lows.
Right.
You know,
Right.
much
We all,
earlier.
as
Yeah.
we all do.
Yeah.
Sure. So
and
what,
so yeah, that was it. And you were actually a piece of it because I was working for you.
Mhm.
You were an awesome boss. When you say like so many people like you set a tone of an awesomeness on set. So I had to
What
fill
was
in.
it?
We
everything I do is
undisclosed.
awesome.
Undisclosed. We can't talk
Everything
about
I
it.
do is awesome.
Okay.
Why limit it to
Right.
one thing?
I agree. We
Okay.
don't need just
Yeah.
one piece of you.
Yeah.
But you gave me a job at a point where I really needed a job.
Right.
And we didn't know each other that well, but I was filling out all this paperwork and it's who's your emergency contact. And now I couldn't put my ex-husband. And at the dentist I had put 911.
Right.
So I was like, who can I put?
Right.
Truly. My dad lived out of state at the time. My agent, that feels weird. So I called you, and I'll never forget saying, hey, can I put you down as emergency contact? 'Cause she was a mom. She lived close.
Right.
And I felt like she didn't have a day job. And she answers her phone. She had a
Right.
landline at the time.
Right.
I still have a landline,
Yeah.
but I don't answer it.
Yeah. That's all spam. Yeah.
So I put her down.
Yeah.
And I think to your point about, like, you have a person. You've
Well,
had a
my
person.
emergency contact is Jim Rash, but he doesn't know.
I better call
He
and tell
doesn't
him.
know. He
doesn't know?
mhm.
He doesn't know.
Oh,
But
that's Jay.
That's just me dreaming. That's I'll put him
That's
down. He'll then he'll get to know me.
That's that call you're going to get soon. You'll
then he'll
see.
get- I'm in the emergency room and he gets a phone call. It's Jim Rash. Yes, says Jake Hogan's in the emergency room and he needs you.
Who?
Oh
Exactly.
my God, that would be
Who?
so funny.
Yeah.
Who?
Who?
So yeah.
All right.
That's an idea for whatever you want to write.
All right. Now what, Annie?
Yes.
Why am I seeing you in every single commercial on the face of the earth?
That's how many she's got running
Well,
down.
they just, you book them when you book them and then they run when they run. So
Yeah.
you don't really have a say.
You have a
in it.
lot of families. A lot of families on the television. Yes.
That's
and
true.
Tom-
That's
and you're with-
funny.
and Roy is the husband in one of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I am
Roy
a
Jacobs?
mom / finance bro.
Yeah.
And
And
Roy
he's the
is my
idiot
husband.
husband.
He's the idiot husband.
Yeah.
And our two wonderful
Yeah,
kids.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic. No,
Yeah,
it's-
we shot that in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fun. I mean, just
I remember the
creating-
audition process. She tells
Why
me all of her
Miami?
stuff.
Why do they go in Miami to shoot that?
Probably money.
It's a great
Cheaper?
question. I really don't know.
How could it be cheaper in Miami?
Yeah.
Maybe someone got free stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably free swag
The company,
to come to Miami.
the company wanted to go to Miami.
Uh-huh.
The advertisers said, you know what would be fun if
They
we
want a
shot in
bit.
Miami.
They want a bit.
Yeah.
I
All
really
right.
don't know. I do think there was something with like the cruise and where you would, because it's a bank that I don't know that the bank is here.
I've seen commercials for it here.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right.
What's it called?
Yeah, PNC Bank.
I don't know. Anyway, I see it.
PNC Bank. Save
I always
money
say,
for
yeah,
Africa.
it is funny that when you appear on TV or you appear, it's like, look,
But
that's
don't
my
you? I
friend.
love that too. I love seeing
Yeah.
people like, good for, I've got to call her, or or if I don't
Yeah.
know where it's like,
But it does,
she's working. Yeah.
It does take me out of the show.
Oh, when you
Just
see
for a
your friend.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
it's like, because I stop thinking of the character and go, oh, that's somebody I know.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh, that's true.
So I don't know. I guess my rule now as a producer is only hire strangers.
Oh, okay.
So they can really be,
You
So
can
that you
stay
don't-
in
I
it.
can
not-
see, yeah, exactly. So I can
You don't wanna
suspend my
get- yeah.
disbelief.
You don't want to sit there and smile the whole time and somebody says, she's doing nothing.
Exactly.
She's doing
No, but it's
nothing.
my
She's
friend.
not
You're
even
really good.
crying.
Yeah.
She will.
She will. She's good. I actually do that all the time. Like when I hire a friend, it's like, and sometimes they have a shitty audition and go like, yeah, but they're really good. It's just, it's a bad audition.
Oh, we
Yeah.
love people
Yeah.
like you. We don't usually get that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Dan Castellaneta would never get hired for anything if he didn't just everybody know how incredibly talented he is.
Remember that the last thing I did with you, it was I played, I think, a teacher.
Breakout role for you?
It was the kids that were musicians like
Oh,
School
School Rock. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I was a
Yeah, you
horrible
were great.
teacher or something.
You were
I don't know.
fantastic.
I don't know.
They didn't make you audition. We just called you and said you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of you.
Yeah, sure.
'Cause you were
But I
nice.
do think you're right that being an auditioner is so different than being good at the job.
Yes.
And so that is something too, where I was helping Mindy a lot with auditions. And then it was sort of
Right.
ruining our friendship.
Right. I gave you audition advice one time.
You did.
I did. And
What
I
did
thought
you
it was
say?
and I really thought like it made me think about, well, what is it? What is it about
Yeah.
the thing? I said that each line has a meaning.
Yeah.
Each thing isn't just words down, that you have to sort of figure out what's the funny or what's the interesting or what's
Yep.
the meaning behind it so that the writers can kind of hear back their thought process when you're
Yep.
doing it.
I could never do that.
And you also taught me to respect the words and understand them a tad bit more. You said something like, sometimes you're just too far outside the lines, or
Yeah.
you said something like that.
Yeah.
A little too messy or a little too, and
Right.
specifically
Because you were like, improving your way through the script. And
That's
so like,
right.
And so like writers are sitting there wanting hearing their words
Yeah.
back. And she's like,
Yeah.
getting it approximate. There's some writers who don't care, but so many do.
Yeah,
So
it was
Especially
good. It was
TV, yeah.
helpful, and you put me in good company that a few other comedians had done that, and women that I knew. So I was like, oh, good. I did not hear the criticism. I was like, yeah, I just got a gem.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
you give
But I
me
have
when you
problem.
give me audition advice, it's usually criticism.
Is it? Is it?
We're not working on that anymore.
Ah,
We don't.
okay.
We don't.
don't.
I mean, if I ever have to, if she asks me, but I won't, yes. And then I go to somebody because I'm a mess.
Sensitive. You both are sensitive about your process.
We are, yeah. And also, I do think like you have to have some objectivity when you either get notes or give notes. When the self-tape thing happened, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
Also, my place is hot. I don't have a great setup. She likes a lot of light. She needs a lot of air. She gets claustrophobic. So I couldn't provide some of the things that she
Right.
needed. Teleprompter would have helped. I didn't have one. So I'd say
You guys
this
have
line.
home teleprompters?
No, I go to somebody and I use a
So
teleprompter.
yeah.
I just want to interrupt everything right now because as
Don't
an
make me
honor-
cry. Don't make me
No,
cry.
to honor our friendship, these many years, I got
Not a
And-
t-shirt.
and
Not a
out of
t-shirt. I
respect-
hope with your face
out
on
of
it.
respect for your talent, I got each one of you a bag of Blue Diamond
Yes.
Smokehouse almonds.
Oh, yes.
These
know.
are and these are very good for you.
These are very good. See, now this would be something where Mindy would have this in her car and
Oh.
she would eat 3 and still have it by 2028.
Right.
It's in my car. I'm in traffic. I'm anxious.
Gone.
Oh,
I always have food. Oh, I always have things in my car
Right.
in my
Yes.
thing. So whatever she needs or doesn't need, Tums is a really good thing to have.
Right. But you're not going to nibble on, like, you're going to have one almond and then set
I
it
may
aside?
not eat all of it in one thing.
That's insane to me.
I know because it's a little thing.
Yeah.
But it's very filling.
No, It's not.
No, but this is the thing. We will go over and over where she's like, you know what you need in your car? You need to have like all these. And I was like, no, I don't operate like that. Because I'll eat it all
you,
in one
you eat half of this.
No.
You eat a little couple of chips.
Why are
and
you
a
eating
cookie.
Tums and why are you eating Tums? What's that about?
Well, if she gets, I always think.
Are you the only one eating Tums?
I don't eat any Tums. She makes me car sick by her driving. And she says it's the car. It is her foot, Jay. I am going to take a video. Her foot goes like this.
Right.
So we're in her car like this. And
Yeah.
I get so car
Right.
sick. So she thinks the solve to being car sick is Tums. I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
We just now I drive or we go separately. I also get migraines and she wears patchouli.
Everybody. Oh,
Do I have patchouli on? No, I had to give away patchouli.
Right, I
I had to
understand.
throw it
That's how
away.
much-
That's it.
That's how
But
much you love each
There's
other.
other stuff.
Right. Okay. You know who doesn't subscribe to not complaining? My wife. She does not like how I drive. Today.
And she tells
I
you.
drove her. She told me. You
Yeah.
know, you just crossed in the center. You changed lanes in the middle of an intersection.
That's because you've been married too long.
That's against the law. Do you know that's against the law? She said, do you know that's against the law to change lanes in an intersection? I do know it's against the law, but it was convenient for me at this moment.
Do you ever fight really? When's the last time you had a really, really horrible fight?
Like, define horrible. Like, what's the level of horrible?
Yelling or, fuck you or fuck this or.
I never say fuck you.
You've never said fuck? Okay.
I don't say fuck you to her. No.
Max and I say that a lot.
Do
you cry?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I cry at commercials. I cry. I'm a commercial
do?
crier. Yes.
You cry when you see her.
Not always. Not just on the sight of Annie. But sometimes she can make me cry.
Is there a commercial right now that you can think of going, oh my God, every time I see, is it about dogs, right?
There was
Animals?
there was commercials during the Olympics that made me cry. Bunch of them about good sportsmanship and about people being kind to each other. There's that commercial at Christmas time about the three old ladies on the bench who were remembering what it was like to slide down a hill, and then they order something from Amazon and they write butt pads and then they ride down the hill and there's
And
a
that
Beatles
stuff-
music playing in the background.
Yes.
That made me cry.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I
Is
don't
it because you
cry.
want to go sledding? Or
No,
is it
it's because
you...
I'm touched at the human emotion, and only commercials could take me there. I get no other
maybe
kind of
also
art.
But maybe also because they're short and you can handle being emotional for just a short little period.
No, I can handle being emotional.
And it's like, boom, it's like, oh my God, and it's not, and you're not involved.
That's
You're not
cathartic.
part
Exactly.
of that
It's all
person.
cathartic.
Yeah.
That's all
all
fine.
because
It's just
there.
in my world, in my life. I'm going to close down what's going on here.
So you
I'm not
steer.
going to let out the demons. Oh, you don't want to see those.
Are there demons?
That's only for Jim Rash.
Now that was a good going
Yeah,
back.
see, I waited.
You waited. We haven't
buried
heard about it. Yeah.
I buried Jim Rash about 20 minutes ago,
Timing.
and then I brought it back out.
Timing.
Timing.
Don't be alone with Jake Hogan.
Ladies, it's almost done. We have a hard out with Annie over here.
She's got a commercial.
She's being very difficult. But I'm going to skip question time, which we normally have, but I'm going to go right to listener mail.
Now it's time for listener mail.
Dear Jay and guest, I've been trying to practice gratitude more, trying not to envy and instead look at the good things I've gotten. What's the one thing you wished for that you are now grateful you never got? Signed, Maybe Avery.
Well, I think too, there are things that you go, I'm so much better now than I was with blah, blah,
Right.
blah, or not blah, 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 blah. But at that moment, in that time, it worked for wherever I got out of it.
Right.
But it's like there's always that, I'm so glad that I'm not married.
Right. Well, I mean, that could be it. It's
Right.
like, I always, when I got married, I dreamed that I'd be there for 40 years and other, and isn't it great that that didn't work out?
Yeah.
That could be that.
Yes.
For you.
Yes. Okay. And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the marriage thing, I really defined myself as someone who was, married.
Right.
So when you're not defined by that, you have to create your own, and it gets sloppy and ugly, but it's way more fun.
Right. What was the glory of defining yourself as married? Did married mean to you at the time? Regardless of the emotional, but what's the position of married be as a
Oh, well,
in
I
the world?
think it just meant like normal life, stability, family, children, money. I mean, you have those ideas that it will just keep going.
Right.
That life will be that. Check.
Right.
Married
We love
by
each other.
30.
We
check.
could get through anything. but
Yeah. So then you become unmarried, and you're like, oh, where do I fit?
Because a lot of men don't think about marriage in the same way that women think about marriage, or
Right.
at least didn't grow up thinking, someday my marriage and the wedding day will be that. Nobody, thinks about, we think, well, maybe I'll be married and have kids someday and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the identity. The identity would be, I'm going to be a plumber, I'm going to be a banker, I'm going to be, an actor or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's career almost more than
that's right.
relationship.
Definitely.
But I will say the younger generation doesn't have exactly that same. At least like people that identify in the female, they don't have as much of that. But
As much
Midwest, marriage,
Yeah.
family, check,
Right.
go do those things.
Right.
Also, I really thought I wanted to be a lawyer. I was like, I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to earn a shit ton of money. I'm going to be a lawyer. So
Right.
I'm happy that didn't work out.
Right.
It didn't work out because a series of events, but one of the biggest ones was I was taking the LSAT.
Right.
And I had a bloody nose during logic games.
Ooh.
And I had to score very high on logic games to offset. There was a whole strategy.
Right.
And that bloody nose, I canceled the score. I never took the test again.
Ah.
So that was a
at the
sign,
time,
right?
That was another shit bucket.
Right.
Diving in, I thought, so maybe Aubrey.
Right.
Why did they sign it maybe Aubrey?
That's like people have internet handles, and there's maybe Avery.
oh,
It's
maybe Avery. Like she's maybe Avery, or he's maybe
I don't know.
Avery, or maybe.
I didn't
Well,
ask.
we think it's stupid.
Yeah. So everything was about lawyer.
Yeah.
And then that big moment, and then
Yeah.
now I'm so glad I'm not a lawyer. I
Right.
don't have a really robust retirement plan, but
Right.
But I also think too, like when you've been married and you've parted and
Right.
and there are things that got you to the things that you have,
Right.
And so sometimes it's like, well, if that didn't happen, then this wonderfulness
Right.
couldn't happen. I couldn't have met
yeah.
this woman.
I wouldn't have the
couldn't
Groundlings.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely not. I was walking down Melrose and I came in that building and I was like, I want my picture on the wall one day. And then I used the restroom and I left. I was studying for the LSAT. I
Right.
never thought I would ever become a Groundling. Ever thought I would
Right.
be sitting here. You have an Emmy from The Simpsons,
Sure.
and we're here.
Among many other shows, but sure.
No, let's just stay on that
Yeah,
one.
sure.
But I
Okay.
just mean like watching you doing improv, watching like you. I never thought I would be. I was like, I am going to be John Grisham.
And so funny. It's like you're so good. You're so great.
She
at
would be good though. She would be good as
A lawyer.
I
Yeah.
think. I really do.
I would've
You're
been a good
talker.
doctor.
You're smart.
Is that what you wanted
I
to be?
want to be a doctor. I
Yeah.
would have been a good doctor, but
What
except
kind?
for the fact I'm not sure.
Okay.
But the fact that I could not handle even slightly memorizing basic organic chemistry.
Oh yeah,
Like
no.
just a very basic memorization of that. I thought, well, maybe doctor isn't right for me.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's the bare minimum you need to do for do doctor. But I love watching operations. I love medicine. I love all that.
Really?
Oh yeah, all that
Oh,
stuff. But
I think you should put Jay as your emergency contact
Oh.
because he is like sort of a doctor.
I mean, I don't have a degree, but I have a notepad on my phone that I can keep records about. So
Just give me some. Hi, can you give me just some advice?
Right.
Oh, all right.
and I do write prescriptions.
Oh,
That is, they're not taken everywhere. They're not valid everywhere. But try.
Can you
Some places,
imagine? Oh, that would be so
yeah,
funny.
if I had a prescription
Oh,
pad.
I don't. Oh,
I
he's
think you
new.
should.
He's
Yes.
new. He just started today.
Prescription strength Afrin. There you go. We have one more segment before we leave.
Yeah.
Which is the moment of joy.
A moment of joy.
This is where you say the one thing, or you can have more than one thing, that just brings you joy. That maybe other people listening could also get joy from at some point.
Wow. Okay. Do you have one or
I have
several?
many, but I mean, my go-to thing always is go to the beach. Is just look at the water. That gives me, I don't know why, it makes me so happy. I don't care if it's rainy, if it's sunny, if it's sunset, even better. So it just gives me peace, and it puts me in a frame of mind that the world is bigger than me. My problems are small, that nature takes care of itself. There's something about it that just puts me in a good frame of mind.
Well, and because I live near the beach, I would have to say the area that
Don't say too specifically.
I'm
I was
not.
just gonna say,
I'm not.
see, I'm irritated.
just said that.
iCarly fans are just going to swarm to the beach
Right.
looking
but
for you.
you know how much beach there is?
Yeah.
All right, good. Don't give
And
don't
no,
give any
I would
markers.
say where I live and my home.
Mhm.
I'm very, very, I love my home. I love what I've done. I love just being away from the city and blah, 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 even though now it's crazy. So I would say that's like a big thing that does make me happy.
Living in a beach community.
Well, and it's like, yeah, because if I go away or if I'm working or whatever, when I don't like to stay away too long because I get really, really like homesick.
Right.
And it's like, coming back to the place that fills me with joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was exactly you, Jay.
Yep.
Go see the ocean.
Yeah.
It just, I don't surf, but I love watching surfers.
Yeah.
I just put like my feet in, but
Mm-hmm.
I love looking at water, looking at the ocean. I mean, I'll even sit by a pool and enjoy, but something about the ocean. And my second thing is find a friend that you can put some wigs on
Right.
with.
That
Because
is
I
pretty
do
fun.
think
We have so much fun.
Her agent's like, one of my clients died and you left us a bunch of wigs. So we literally put on this dead woman's wigs.
Right.
They were all about the same color.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I think they were wigs she actually wore.
Oh, yeah, she
different
really was. Yeah,
hairstyles?
it wasn't
Different hairstyles
Okay.
of about
but
the
very
same color.
kind of similar in
Right.
that way. But we just go to town.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
when you put a wig on, you transform into somebody
Put one
else.
on and then you turn and
Right.
try not to laugh with each other.
Right.
Okay. Also try not to do some sort of character outside yourself. You don't have to be an actor. I bet it brings you joy.
When I first got into that prop room at the Groundlings, that sort of Groundlings
Yeah.
Yes.
that's full
The
of
attic.
props and
Yeah.
has wigs and all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is fun. But I got bored of it after 3 minutes.
Why?
I don't know why.
I'm always saying,
Also, I thought it was like, how gross is this stuff? I
well,
don't know.
It's
because
pretty
it's
gross.
not
I've
yours.
gotten crabs
Yes.
from a shirt up there.
But I think
Exactly.
it's also so cool to just know that, oh my God, I can put on a wig and I'm a different person.
Right.
Or, there's something really exciting about, and it will make you laugh.
Yeah.
I also do like making my son laugh.
That's great.
that
I
requires
can-
somebody else.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an
But I don't care if he was in the room or not. I would still do it.
Yeah. I love making my son or my wife or anybody else laugh. That's- that'd be
but maybe a little
great.
too much.
Yeah, it is true. Little needy? Yeah, maybe.
I do love making her laugh. I do like, because, she makes me laugh, but I do like making her laugh.
Well, this has been great to sort of get a bird's eye view of your friendship
Yeah.
and your connection. And then when someday you're fighting it out, it's over. When you like sever ties with each other because, oh yeah, it's coming.
You think it's death?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
no.
it'll just be
Some
something
big
like,
emotional-
I don't want you to call me when you have a hurt.
Exactly. You didn't answer the landline the one time and she called and
I
that's
know.
it's
We're
over.
done.
Do you know my landline?
No.
I feel like the friendship will last for forever. That's
Aw.
great.
Oh, I think so.
She wants some of her ashes at the Groundlings. So she's like telling me that I should do it. Now, I don't trust ordered death. There are out of order deaths that happen. So
Right.
I might go first.
That's true.
okay. So
But
you
then-
got to put that in. I'm
but
putting
then
it on the
I've
podcast to tell
told
other people. Okay.
Max knows.
Okay. But you might want to
I
tell
did
the
say something last night.
Groundlings community.
Yeah, I
It's,
did.
you know,
I did tell
it's
people.
highly illegal to do that.
Why?
It's illegal to put your ashes at a place of business or just
Just in general, it's you don't want to put ashes of a human being in a place where other people are living and walking and doing things.
Oh, I'm not just going to go like that.
Well, where in the Groundlings?
I don't know. Like,
in that
I'm
prop
saying,
room
like-
where you get crabs.
Yeah.
from
I mean, it's
a
not like
shirt.
it's on,
Put it in- you
on
can
the
put it
stage.
in
Like, where would it get vacuumed up? Where would you keep it?
Or you know what they could
question.
do? What they could do is just give me my name on a seat.
But that's
Well,
not
that
the
you
same.
just buy it.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to purchase
You don't
that.
have to earn anything.
No, but you
I have
can-
Phil Hartman's.
Yeah?
From when we redid the theater,
Right.
they got rid of some of the seats, and there was me and this one other actor. We wanted it so
Right.
bad. We rock paper scissors for it. And I won it.
Nice.
Yeah, I have his nameplate.
You've just been assigned a bag of. I've done this for my sister, so this is why I know. You have a bag of ashes, and you have to figure out where does it go. My sister told me where she wanted it to go.
where?
She wanted it at Disneyland.
And that's illegal.
It is illegal.
How would
And
they
you
know?
found that
How
out.
would
Do
they
you
know?
say
if
I'm a doctor?
No, I do. I write a prescription and say that this. They don't know, but they're not. If they catch you, they'll be upset.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go behind the toilet or something to do it.
It's
her ashes are already disposed of
And
somewhere.
you can't say where.
I'm not going to say where.
I'm curious.
But her ashes are disposed of.
So I'm not allowed to have anything at the Groundlings. Is that what you're trying to say to me?
Back by the dumpsters. If you want.
I do not want to be
that
by
little
the
alleyway back there. I mean, you can put it somewhere like in a planter or something. Like you got to be smart about it.
Right.
Got to be smart about it.
Can
And
we
then
just
how
have
much
like a tiny, if you want me to just sprinkle like a little spice, okay,
Right.
that's it. But if you really want,
I don't want like.
Where does Deanna Oliver put her ashes when she's smoking?
She's outside.
That's
Her and George
we go.
McGrath are always smoking
Yeah.
outside. I don't want it to be outside in the horrible area.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe think
I'm
choose
gonna
another
have
place.
to work on this now.
Maybe the beach, the ocean.
Well, but if she took a little bit, then you take the rest to the beach.
In the up and one of the cabinets.
Where would you want yours?
I haven't thought about it yet.
Yeah.
Well, you better.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't even.
Because
know
then what
about
am I
that.
going to do?
I'm going to be buried.
Okay, well then I'll let you do that.
I won't be able to do that.
Do you know where you're going to be buried?
Your sister,
do.
And
All right.
Your sister
Yeah.
will let you
Do you
know.
have a place and
Yeah. Well,
then it's all taken care of.
I'm in process of I'm in a family. My dad and my stepmom are buried in Key West, Florida,
All right.
which is like a cemetery that
Right.
was in like the 1800s.
Okay.
So it's really eclectic and it's really hard to get in.
Right.
So because they have a vault,
Right.
we can actually go in with them
Fantastic. That's great.
and we can save money.
Right. That's even better.
So my sister and I are like, that's going to be the thing. Just move the bones
Taken
over,
care of.
throw us in.
I want to be.
Is that too dark?
No, it's fantastic.
I mean, he's been
Wait a
gone.
minute,
They're gonna move the
Did I
bones,
miss
and they're going
something?
to put my bones
Yeah.
in. You wouldn't be in
gonna
charge of this.
There's your father,
Yeah.
and then you're going to be on top of him.
Well, you say it
Nearby.
like that. That's gross.
nearby. Yeah.
Nearby.
So somebody has to open that up
Yeah.
and see that. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Well,
That's what a crypt is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why am I
Correct.
going to buy the one above for a shit ton of money?
Right.
And so my sister and I sitting above our, Plus, you're going to go visit me down in Key West.
No.
So,
That's the thing about this.
What does it
When's the
matter?
last time you visited this crypt? Ever?
yes. Oh, yes. But that's because I go to Key West a lot. I do, and I visit my dead parents.
Is that why you go?
No, but we have property there, so
Okay.
I do go to the house,
Key
and
West,
then I
and
go.
then go right to the crypt.
Yeah, and
You get
the
put your bag. I got to put my bags down. I got to head to the crypt.
Yeah, I do. There is one. Can I tell you? There's
Uh-huh.
one grave that says, "I told you I was sick."
Right? It's a good one.
It's a good
It's a
one.
classic.
Oh, that is
It's a classic.
fantastic.
Come on, Jimmy Buffett will probably.
Well,
be
I'm
there.
still thinking about getting the seat.
All right, you should. Mindy Sterling,
Yes.
Annie Sertich, thank you both for being here.
Thank
You're
you.
lovely and talented and super funny and super fun. And I envy your friendship. And I will for the rest of my life. And I love you guys.
Do you want to come over and try
Do
some
wigs?
wigs?
I would do it.
And have some
I would
drinks.
do it.
And have some drinks.
Yeah, and cheese. And I'll have the meat. I go and have
All
it.
right,
It's all
okay.
good.
All right, let's
It's all
do it.
You're
good.
invited.
All right.
It's going to happen.
Thank
All
you.
right,
And
thanks
you've
for
been
being
a
here.
doll.
And
Thank you for
thank
having
you for being here, my audience, and thank you for tuning in. Please write to me
we're
at
over there.
DB. Yeah, you have your own camera. Write to me at dbawjk@gmail.com with your questions. I need your listener mail questions so I can have this great interaction with people. I want your comments, your suggestions, or just to say hi. And don't be alone. Go out and do something. Find a friend like they have.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Go
life.
to the beach.
Go to the beach. See you next time.
Don't be alone.